Hello friends, good morning. Welcome all. In this video, I am going to discuss the daily Hindu analysis of February 9, 2022. मेरा नाम गौतम दीक्षित है. I am GK and Current Affairs faculty at Manu Rao classes. मैं आप सबका आज के स्वागत करता हूँ. आज के जो इम्पोर्टेंट न्यूज़ हैं जो हमारे लिए इम्पोर्टेंट हैं और जो फ्यूचर में थोड़े से इम्पोर्टेंट हो जाएंगे, दैट इज़ हरियाणा कैबिनेट नॉट फॉर एंटी कन्वर्जन बिल. हम पहले भी जानते हैं कि गुजरात ने भी एक ऐसा एंटी कन्वर्जन बिल पास किया हुआ है और जिसके ऊपर गुजरात हाई कोर्ट ने थोड़ी सी उसमें उसके क्रिटिकल सेक्शन में थोड़ा चेंजेस लाने को कहा है. तो अब हरियाणा कैबिनेट हैज़ गिवन नॉट फॉर एंटी कन्वर्जन बिल. द नेक्स्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट न्यूज़ जब हम आगे बढ़ेंगे, सो टुडे आज जो न्यूज़ है वो फैक्चुअल बेसिस उसका कुछ ज़्यादा है, बिकॉज हम कुछ न्यूज़ पढ़ेंगे रिलेटेड टू वर्ल्ड फूड प्रोग्राम. हम फिर एक नया इंडेक्स करेंगे एडिटोरियल पेज में विच इज़ रिलेटेड टू एग्रीकल्चर. दैट इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट एडिटोरियल फॉर टुडे. एंड देन वी विल मूव टू फॉरेन पेज और आज हम नया डेवलपमेंट करेंगे रिलेटेड टू रशिया यूक्रेन इशू. सो लेट्स स्टार्ट. पहले एक फैक्चुअल इन्फॉर्मेशन दे लेते हैं. JNU की वाइस चांसलर, द न्यूली अपॉइंटेड वाइस चांसलर इज़ शांति श्री दुल्लुपुदी पंडित. ये पॉलिटिकल साइंस प्रोफेसर थी पहले सावित्रीबाई फुले पुणे यूनिवर्सिटी. नाउ द नेक्स्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग इज़ M. जगदेश कुमार, who was earlier the vice chancellor of JNU. Now he has been appointed as the chairman of University Grant Commission. द नेक्स्ट इज़ एक स्टेट से रिलेटेड न्यूज़ है, इसको यहीं पे कर लेते हैं. दैट बिहार हैज़ प्लान्ड अ सेंसस, मीन्स काउंटिंग द पीपल हु हैव क्विट द ड्रिंकिंग. सो बिहार विच इज़ अ ड्राई स्टेट, नाउ बिहार हैड पास्ड अ लॉ बैनिंग liquor in the state. So now the Bihar government is planning to conduct a census for those who have quit the drinking. तो एक प्रीवियस सर्वे था, उसके अकॉर्डिंगली देयर आर 101.64 करोड़ पीपल हु हैव क्विट द ड्रिंकिंग. And now the exact number will be determined by the census. Then let's come to the first news. हरियाणा कैबिनेट नॉट फॉर एंटी कन्वर्जन बिल. तो ये एंटी कन्वर्जन बिल क्या होता है? इट मीन्स अगर हम पढ़ेंगे तो जो फोर्सिबल कन्वर्जन होता है ये उसको पेनलाइज करेगा. तो जैसे कि फोर्सिबल कन्वर्जन का एग्जांपल, जैसे कि ये लास्ट पैराग्राफ आप पढ़ सकते हैं इसको समझने के लिए. That in Haryana it has been pointed out that in past there have been instances where religious conversions have taken place. How that people they marry the person of other religion by concealing their own religion, and once they get married they force the other person to convert to their own religion. So now Haryana cabinet has given approval to the draft of the bill. The name of the bill is Haryana Prevention of Unlawful Conversion of Religion Bill 2022. Now what are the salient features of this bill? It will prohibit religious conversion affected through misrepresentation, force, undue influence, coercion, allurement, लालच देना, coercion मतलब force करना, और any fraudulent means or by marriage or for marriage, and will make it an offense. The next important point about this bill is कि the burden of proof किसके ऊपर होगा. नॉर्मली क्या होता है कि समझो कि कोई क्राइम हुआ, पुलिस ने एक पर्सन एक्स को अरेस्ट किया. सो द बर्डन टू प्रूव दैट एक्स इज़ गिल्टी इट लाइज ऑन पुलिस. तो इसीलिए पुलिस इन्वेस्टिगेशन करती है. यहाँ पे अगर मान लीजिए कि किसी को इस एक्ट में अरेस्ट किया जाता है, सो बर्डन ऑफ प्रूफ कि अपने आप को बेगुनाह साबित करने के लिए इट विल लाई ऑन द पर्सन हु हैज़ बीन अरेस्टेड. सो द बर्डन ऑफ प्रूफ विल लाई ऑन द एक्यूज्ड. Now the next important provision is that it also prescribes higher punishment for conversion of minors who are below 18 years of age, women and members of scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. The next is ये एक इशू है, एक शॉर्ट में ये इशू कर लेते हैं. कश्मीर जो है, ओके, सो इन कश्मीर there is a region which is called as POK, Pakistan Occupied Kashmir. So Pakistan termed this Pakistan occupied Kashmir as Azad Kashmir. Okay, so जो आज़ाद कश्मीर है या POK, it is in the control of Pakistan but it is a territory of India. तो ये जो आज़ाद कश्मीर है, that is the POK side, यहाँ पे February 5 को कश्मीर सॉलिडारिटी डे ऑब्जर्व किया जाता है इन होल ऑफ पाकिस्तान. On this occasion, certain multinational companies they expressed solidarity, and they tweeted the social media post calling for Kashmiri freedom by way. Okay, now this has been uh, unacceptable to the Indian government, and the Indian government is on a diplomatic overdrive. So if you will just see that the South Korean ambassador Chang Jae-bok, he was summoned to South Block by the Ministry of External Affairs. Then later the Indian ambassador to Seoul, Sri Priya Ranganathan, he has sought an explanation from Hyundai and Kia, which are the South Korean companies that where the Indian government has expressed strong displeasure of the government on this unacceptable media post. Some of the companies are Hyundai Motor Company, then Kia. Then in Pakistan, some branches of American MNCs like KFC and Pizza Hut, and Japanese companies like Osaka Batteries, Atlas Honda Limited, and Isuzu and Square, which is the German pharmaceutical company. They had put a post on social media calling for freedom of Kashmir. Now friends, coming to the next news, an important appointment. Now Manoj Ahuja, who is the current chairman of CBSE, the full form of CBSE, Central Board of Secondary Education. Now he will take over as Agricultural Secretary when the incumbent Agricultural Secretary Sanjay Agarwal retires at the end of March. Now his appointment was approved by the Appointments Committee of the Cabinet. The full other appointments are the appointment of Sanjay Malhotra as the Secretary of Department of Financial Services, which is the department under the Finance Ministry. Then Aarti Ahuja, who has been appointed as the new Secretary under Department of Chemicals and Petrochemicals. Then S. Kishore, he has been appointed as the Chairman of the Staff Selection Commission. The next is a new initiative by Niti Aayog and US Agency for International Development. So Atal Innovation Mission under Niti Aayog and US Agency for International Development has announced a partnership under the Sustainable Access to Markets and Resources for Innovative Delivery of Healthcare. The aim of this initiative is to improve the access to affordable and quality healthcare for vulnerable population, especially in cities, rural and tribal regions. Now friends, let's come to this news. The European Union joins chips race with euro 43 billion bid to rival Asia. तो अगर हम देखेंगे तो चिप, हमने कल इकोनॉमिक्स का न्यूज़ पढ़ा था जहाँ पे ऑटोमोबाइल सेक्टर का जो सेल है इट हैज़ डिप्ड वंस अगेन because of a low demand in rural area, and the second reason is chip shortage. Now one of the reason of this chip shortage not only in India but worldwide is the main reason is disruption of supply chain. This is the first reason. The second reason is that in the Asian countries like Taiwan, South Korea, Japan, they lead in chip manufacturing. Now what is happening is, now due to unavailability of chip, so there is a crisis going on in the automobile sector. So how India solved this problem? So India announced a PLI scheme of around 73,000 crore allocation and a semiconductor mission, which will focus on the domestic manufacturing of semiconductors and chips in India itself. The full form of PLI is Product Linked Incentive Scheme. Now the European Union, which is the union of 27 countries in Europe, now they have announced and they have moved CHIPS Act, which aims to mobilize more than euro 43 billion or $49.1 billion of public and private investment, and it will enable the European Union to reach its ambition to double its current market share to 20% by 2030. So this is important line from this news. The next is, if you will see that which countries are dominating in the chip manufacturing or semiconductor manufacturing, which is required for computers, for semiconductors, for computers, for sensors in car. So these countries are Taiwan, China, South Korea. Now European Union, it wants factories and companies inside the European Union to take a big role. The next news is from Ukraine, Russia-Ukraine crisis. So the Russia-Ukraine crisis is going on. Certain background is that Russia has amassed around 1 lakh troops on Ukrainian border. In response, US and its allies, they are also moving troops along the Ukrainian border. Some of the countries where the Western troops are already present are Poland and Romania. And Russia in the past, it wanted a promise from US that it is not going to allow Ukraine to become the member of NATO. NATO is North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Okay, so this issue escalated when NATO conducted a pan-European military exercise called as Defender Europe 21. So when Defender Europe 21, it was a military exercise by NATO in Europe. Now Russia, it became aware of the Western presence in its backyard, and hence the crisis escalated. In response to this, Russia amassed 1 lakh military, 1 lakh army along the Ukrainian border. Now certain European countries, they want to seek amicable solution to this crisis. So in this, the German president Emmanuel Macron and Germany's chancellor Olaf Scholz, they are on visit to Russia, Ukraine, and to US to discuss the possibility of peaceful resolution of this crisis. Now over here, some of the important thing is that Vladimir Putin, who is the president of Russia, he has demanded sweeping security guarantees from NATO and the United States. Okay, and he had several proposals that which has been forwarded, that if the Western countries follow this, then the crisis can be eased over Ukraine. Now France, it has certain proposals. So if you will just see, the French president has said that counter proposals include engagement from both sides not to take any new military action, launching of strategic dialogue, and efforts to revive the peace process for Ukrainian conflict. Then agreement will also ensure the withdrawal of some 30,000 Russian soldiers from Belarus at the end of joint military exercise later this month. Now the Kremlin is insisting that it has no plan to withdraw from Belarus. Now Ukraine has drawn certain red line. That red line means that if such it is not going to compromise, especially over three things, that is Ukraine's territorial integrity, no direct talk with separatists. These separatists, they are in Donbas and Donetsk region, which is the eastern region in Ukraine, and where the majority of the population are ethnic Russian, and no interference in foreign policy. Previously, US President Joe Biden, he has increased the pressure on Russia, and he has said that he is going to end the controversial new Nord Stream 2 gas pipeline from Russia to Europe. Okay, so this new gas pipeline, it is already built, but the gas are yet to be supplied, and the Nord Gas Stream 2 is going to solve the energy crisis problem in Europe. It is going to start from Russia and end in Germany by bypassing Ukraine. There is one more stream, Nord Stream 1, which passes through Ukraine. Now Sri Lanka is going to launch its own Aadhaar. The name will be digital identity under the digital identity framework. It is going to launch unitary digital identity framework. The next is from last 2 days we are doing the news India Sri Lanka foreign relation, where the foreign minister of Sri Lanka, GL Peris, he was on 2-day visit to India. So last day he met External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar, National Security Advisor Ajit Doval, and Foreign Secretary Harshvardhan Singla. So his visit has coincided with the India's releasing the urgent financial assistance which is required for Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is facing an economic crisis, fuel shortage. So India has announced $400 million currency swap, $500 million loan deferment, a line of credit of $500 million for fuel imports. This is going to be given by Export Import Bank of India. The next is the United Nations World Food Program says that drought conditions in the Horn of Africa. What is Horn of Africa? If we just see the African map, so this region is called as Horn of Africa. So the countries in this Horn of Africa are Somalia, Ethiopia and Kenya. They are facing the severe drought conditions, which is going to impact 13 million people in this region. Okay, and this is the worst drought condition since 1981, and they require major humanitarian resistance. So the World Food Program says that it needs $327 million to look after the urgent need of 4.5 million people over the next 6 months. Now, what is this World Food Program? So the World Food Program, it was founded in 1961. So the World Food Program, it was founded in 1961. It is headquartered in Rome, Italy, and it is the world's largest humanitarian organization which is focused on hunger and food security. Also, it is the largest provider of school meals. The current Director General of World Food Program is David Beasley. David Beasley. The World Food Program, it was founded by Food and Agriculture Organization, which is headquartered in Rome, and the United Nations General Assembly. Now from economics, this is the news that TRAI has started the consultation ahead of 5G auction. So when we were doing Union Budget 2020-23, it was announced that the spectrum allocation will be done in this year, and it will be rolled out by the private sector in 2023. So in consonance with that, if you will just see, the Telecom Regulatory Authority of India, he has termed the consultation paper on 5G spectrum auction as a watershed in the history of telecom. So earlier also we did editorial on 5G. तो इंडिया में 5G का प्रॉब्लम क्या है, या पूरे वर्ल्ड में देखा गया है कि 4G के बाद जब 5G आया तो 5G जो है it also aims to transform the industry and Internet of Things. For that it requires an extra E-band. So the article called that the government should also consider auctioning this E-band, which will make a huge transformation in industries and Internet of Things. Okay, otherwise it will only be the marginal improvement in speed the way it is rolled out in the other countries. So the Telecom Regulatory Authority of India, it is the statutory body established under Section 3 of the Telecom Regulatory Authority Act 1997. It is headquartered at New Delhi, and we will see the current chairman is P.D. Waghela. The next news is this is an analytical news, analysis based news, where two things are very important to understand. The first is debt to GDP ratio, and the next one is rating agencies. तो अब यहाँ पे क्या है, एक टर्म हमको समझना पड़ेगा, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज फिस्कल डेफिसिट. So what is fiscal deficit? Fiscal deficit or FD, it is government's expenditure minus government's revenue. So expenditure minus revenue, that gives us fiscal deficit. Now in last budget, government had announced that by 2025-26 the fiscal deficit target of 4.5% will be achieved. But if you will see the revised estimate of fiscal deficit in last year, the financial year which is going to close on March 31st, it is 6.9%, and for the financial year 2022-23 the government has announced the target that a fiscal deficit will be restricted to 6.4%. So if we compare this both figure, 6.4% to 4.5%, so if you will see, every year the fiscal deficit has to be reduced by 0.6%. But this year, because of COVID-19 situation, the government has reduced it by only 0.5%. मतलब 6.9% से it has been reduced to 6.4%. Now, considering this, certain rating agencies like Fitch and Modi Investors, they have termed that if we consider India, द डेब्ट टू जीडीपी रेशियो, मतलब कि इंडिया का जीडीपी कितना है, उसमें से इंडिया का डेब्ट कितना है, मतलब लाइबिलिटी डेब्ट. सो दे आर सेइंग इट इज़ क्लोज टू 90% and considering this year's investment it is going to reach 91%, which is if you will see, so this debt to GDP ratio if you will see of India, which is highest given the other countries, the other emerging economies. So India has called this report as playing the double standards, and the TV Somanathan, who is the finance secretary, he has termed that India will achieve its 4.5% deficit fiscal deficit target by 2025-26. Now friends, about the editorial NIT, so NITs and state. So यहाँ पे एक तमिलनाडु जो है it has again passed the NIT bill in its legislative assembly. So Tamil Nadu introduced this bill earlier then the government had chosen to return the bill for consideration of the bill that was passed in September 2021. तो September 2021 में ये बिल पास हुआ NIT. उसके बाद it was presented to तमिलनाडु गवर्नर R.N. रवि. उसके बाद इस बिल को उन्होंने रिटर्न कर दिया लास्ट वीक. नाउ अगेन it has been passed by the legislative assembly of Tamil Nadu. Okay. सो यहाँ पे जो ये तमिलनाडु को ने जो पास किया है बिल, इट इज़ ऑल्सो शोइंग द प्रॉब्लम विद निट एंड द सेकेंड इज फेडरलिज्म. ओके, तो यहाँ पे अगर हम देखेंगे तो निट हम कुछ गवर्नमेंट के अगर जजमेंट देखेंगे, फॉर एग्जांपल मॉडर्न डेंटल कॉलेज वर्सेस मध्य प्रदेश, द सुप्रीम कोर्ट हैड गिवन द क्लियर वर्डिक्ट दैट द स्टेट गवर्नमेंट हैज़ द पावर टू लेजिस्लेट ऑन student admissions to higher educational institutions. Then there was another judgment by Justice Bhanumati that also ruled that the law regulating the state student admission falls within the jurisdiction of state government. Now what is the problem? This national eligibility cum entrance test, which is also called as NIT, it takes away the power of state government to regulate admissions in the undergraduate and postgraduate courses. Now the Tamil Nadu government on June 19, 2021, it set up the committee under the retired High Court Judge A.K. Rajan to investigate the issues and to submit the report on the effects of NEET on poor and backward students. So the report was submitted on July 14, 2021, and the bill has said that this NEET, it is disadvantageous to the people who are coming from rural section and poor section of the state. Okay, so hence the Tamil Nadu Legislative Assembly passed this NIT repeal bill, which says that in Tamil Nadu admissions to MBBS courses will be based on the marks obtained in 10+2. The next is football and nation. तो यहाँ पे AFCON की बात हो रहा है, Africa Cup of Nation, which was won by Senegal by defeating Egypt in shootout penalty by 4-2. Egypt has already won this 7 times earlier. ये 8th time Egypt was in final. So जो Senegal में अगर हम देखेंगे तो जो हीरो थे Senegal के जिन्होंने इसको जिताया, Senegal को हेल्प किया, is the player named as Sadio Mane, who also plays in the European football club which is called as Liverpool. Then there are certain factual informations. तो यहाँ पर हम देखेंगे तो हर एक कॉन्टिनेंट का अपना एक फुटबॉल मैच होता है. तो यूरोपियन फुटबॉल मैच जो होता है यूरोप के लिए, उसको हम कहते हैं यूरोस. देन साउथ अमेरिका में इट इज़ कॉल्ड एज कोपा अमेरिका. द नेक्स्ट इज अबाउट द एग्री स्पेंडिंग एंड बूस्टिंग द फार्मर इनकम. सो फ्रेंड्स, अगर हम सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल देखेंगे, सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल 2, इट एम्स टू इराडिकेट हंगर by 2030. ओके, तो इसमें हंगर में एक्सेसिबिलिटी ऑफ फूड, प्रोडक्शन ऑफ फूड इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. ठीक है, गॉट इट. द सेकेंड इज़ हमको प्रोडक्शन को बढ़ाना है, तो प्रोडक्शन को बढ़ाने के लिए हमें एग्रीकल्चर में एलोकेशन भी बहुत ज़्यादा करना पड़ेगा. बट इफ़ यू विल सी द बजट, यूनियन बजट 2022-23, so there has been only a marginal increase of 4.4% towards the एग्रीकल्चर, बट अगर हम इसको करंट इन्फ्लेशन रेट के साथ कंपेयर करेंगे, सो द करंट इन्फ्लेशन रेट इज़ 5.5% टू 6%, एलोकेशन हैज़ इंक्रीज बाई ओनली 4.4%। तो अगर हम इसको इन्फ्लेशन रेट के साथ अगर एडजस्ट करेंगे, सो वी विल सी दैट द एलोकेशन इन रियल टर्म इज़ नेगेटिव टुवर्ड्स द एग्रीकल्चर, which will have impact on production of agricultural commodities and their accessibility in the market. उसके बाद अगर हम फूड एंड एग्रीकल्चर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन विच इज़ अ स्पेशलाइज्ड एजेंसी ऑफ यूनाइटेड नेशन, अगर उसका एक रिपोर्ट देखेंगे, सो इट शोज दैट इंडिया इज अमंग द टॉप 10 कंट्रीज इन टर्म्स ऑफ गवर्नमेंट स्पेंडिंग इन एग्रीकल्चर, विच इज़ 7.3% ऑफ इट्स टोटल एक्सपेंडिचर। बट अगर हम इसको कंपेयर करेंगे अदर लो इनकम कंट्रीज़ के साथ, सो इट इज़ मलावी, माली, भूटान, नेपाल, गुयाना एंड चाइना उससे काफ़ी कम है। उसके बाद एक इंडेक्स है जो यहाँ पे डिस्कस हुआ है, दैट इज़ कॉल्ड एज एग्रीकल्चर ओरिएंटेशन इंडेक्स। ओके, अभी एग्रीकल्चर ओरिएंटेशन इंडेक्स क्या होता है? सो द एग्रीकल्चर ओरिएंटेशन इंडेक्स इट इज़ कैलकुलेटेड बाय डिवाइडिंग दी what the government is giving as a subsidy or expenditure in agriculture divided by what is the total value of agriculture. okay, इसका मतलब कि AOI है, ठीक है। तो AOI का मतलब हो गया कि जितना गवर्नमेंट स्पेंडिंग कर रही है, ठीक है, तो उतना ज़्यादा आउटपुट भी होना चाहिए। अगर गवर्नमेंट स्पेंडिंग ज़्यादा कर रही है और आउटपुट कम है तो ये इंडेक्स जो है वो कम हो जाता है। ओके, अगर हम इंडिया को एशिया के साथ कंपेयर करें, सो द थिंग इज दैट द इंडियाज एग्रीकल्चर ओरिएंटेशन इंडेक्स इज लो। नाउ सम ऑफ द रीजंस विच हैज़ बीन साइटेड इज दैट reduction in fund towards important schemes such as farm insurance and minimum support price, then market intervention scheme and price support scheme. उसके बाद फार्मर्स इनकम को एनहांस करने के लिए भी कुछ स्कीम्स थे, तो उनमें भी जो है काफ़ी कम एलोकेशन हुआ है। द स्कीम इज़ प्रधानमंत्री अन्नदाता आय संरक्षण अभियान। नाउ सम ऑफ द थिंग विच हैज़ बीन highlighted to improve the situation is that the intensification in government spending towards agriculture is very important for sustainable development goal 2. So the focus should be on irrigation facilities, urban infrastructure, development of national highways which must be completed, then development of rural infrastructure and rural transportation and access to market is very necessary to improve the agricultural output and to boost the farmer incomes in India. So friend, that's all for today. We will meet tomorrow again with the Daily Hindu analysis. Till then, have a nice day. Thank you.